All right, I'm trying to do this last part of this geranium selling problem. Let me copy these two equations down on that page because I'm going to need the cost function. This is the cost function and the revenue function. Bring it down here to write the profit function. Okay, so in the previous video I told you profit equals revenue minus cost. So using that and these two functions, let's write the profit function. Okay, so down here let me write down the profit function. P of x is equal to R of x minus C of x. See, that is going to be, what's R? This right there. 120 plus 90 times square root of x. And then what? Minus sign, right? Minus. And I need to do the cost function. 200 plus 100 times 4th root of x. So that is going to be the profit function. Let's see if we can simplify this a little bit. I will get 120 plus 90 times square root of x. And let's get these two out of this parenthesis by distributing the negative. Minus 200 minus 100 times 4th root of x. I notice that we have constants, 120 and negative 200. So the profit function is going to be negative 80, right? If you add those gray highlighted numbers together, that's going to be negative 80. And I just have to bring down this plus 90 square root of x. And then this minus 100 times 4th root of x. Now, this is the profit function. Now they're talking about average profit function, right? So let me put a little sticky on top of example 2 because I'm going to need a lot of room for this. Or maybe I'll just move my work down, okay? I'll move my work down. This one is going to take me a whole page. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll copy this and paste it down here, okay? See, we're trying to find the average profit. So guess what we do? We're going to divide this profit function by x. So average profit is dividing the total profit by x. So the average profit function is going to be, let's see, a long fraction bar, negative 80 plus 90 times square root of x minus 100 times 4th root of x all over x. Now, they want us to find how fast this is changing. They want us to find the derivative of this mess, okay? We gotta find p bar prime of x. That's what we have to go next, okay? Now, I don't want to do quotient rule, okay? All right, quotient rule is all right, but if you can avoid it, you can rewrite things so that they are, it is not a quotient anymore. But you know what? The section is called application of quotient rule. So, you know, I will do quotient rule. I'm going to do quotient rule for this. I will not try to avoid my problem. I will face it this time. Okay, so let me rewrite this p prime of x so that I have nice numerator. X is fine, but you notice I can rewrite this square root of x and this 4th root of x, right? So I'm trying to fix those before I take the derivative. So write down plus 90, but instead of square root of x, write down x to the 1/2 power. minus 100. Instead of fourth root of x, write down x to the 1/4 power. Okay, now I got my numerator all written with exponential form. I am ready to do the quotient rule. Let's do the quotient rule. Okay, it says g squared in the bottom. On top of the fraction, we'll do gf prime minus fg prime. All right, I'm ready to set up my pieces. F is negative 80 plus 90 x to the 1/2 power minus 100 x to the 1/4 power. F prime is going to be 45 x to the negative 1/2 power minus 25 x to the negative 3/4 power. Okay, just power rule, nothing more than power rule. I got the 45 by doing 90 times half. I got this negative 1/2 by doing half minus 1. Guess where this 25 came from? That's 1/4 of 100, right? And I just went down 1 from 1/4. That's how I am down at negative 3/4. Okay, let's do G. G is the original bottom of the fraction. At least that part is nice. G is x, then G prime is equal to 1. All right, got my pieces all laid out. I am about to do the quotient rule, okay? So let's see. The average profit is changing. Okay, we're finding that function, the derivative. So I'll put the apostrophe right there to call it prime. Start with g squared in the bottom, okay? That is x squared. See? G squared in the bottom, that's what g is. That's why I put x squared in the bottom. On top of the fraction, start with x. Now I'm multiplying this by what? F prime. F prime is this miss right there. Okay, I'll write that down. Parenthesis, 45 x to the negative 1/2 power minus 25 x to the negative 3/4 of a power. All right, what does the quotient rule says after that? Minus sign, minus sign. And what's next? F is next. F is this mess. Don't you know, sometimes, me too, I just want to give up in the middle of a problem because it's so tedious, but I will not give up. I will continue. Let's persist. Negative 80 plus 90 times x to the 1/2 minus 100 x to the 1/4 power. I am so out of room. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, okay? All right? And I need to multiply this hot pink by what? G prime. And G prime, hey, at least that's nice. G prime is just 1. So I don't really have to multiply this by 1, okay? Now let us simplify this because, you know, we're going to have to plug in something later, right? So the average profit changing function. Okay, let's see. I think we can distribute this in. Let's distribute this x in, okay? Which means you will be adding exponent. You will be adding 1 plus negative 1/2 and 1 plus negative 3/4. So when you multiply powers, you add exponent. That's why we'll be adding. So what's the top gonna be? 45 x raised to the, like, add the two highlighted fraction for me. What is 1 plus negative 1/2? That's 1 minus 1/2. So we're gonna be back up on positive 1/2. Minus, all right, next term, I'm multiplying x times negative 25 x to the negative 3/4 power. So add the yellow highlighted fractions for me of these exponents. 1 plus negative 3/4 or 1 minus 3/4, that's going to be just 1/4. All right, now I'm going to get this one out of that parenthesis by simply switching the sign of everything. Okay, all over x squared. Let's see if we have any like terms, okay? So p prime of the average function, x squared still down there. Let's see if I can highlight some like terms. So there's 45 x squared, and there is minus 90 x squared. So I'm going to combine them and get negative 45. I said x squared, I'm sorry. X to the 1/2 power. All right, next, I'm going to combine the quarter exponents. So this one and this one. That's 100 minus 25, isn't it? If you do 100 minus 25, you get 75. X to the 1/4 power. And then our plus 80. We got the function we want. If we plug in, what was the number that they wanted? 300 or 3. If we plug in 3 in there, we'll be able to find the rate at which the average profit is changing when 300 geraniums are grown and sold. So you know what, let's do that. Let's finish this up. So what's our final answer? Well, I don't know. Plug in 3 now. You're going to get negative 45, 3 to the 1/2 power, plus 75, 3 to the 1/4 power, plus 80, all over 3 squared. I'm going to pause the video so that I can type this into the calculator. Typed it in, it comes out to be 11.20 cents. But let's put the appropriate unit here, okay? So the profit, the average profit is actually increasing because the number came out to be positive, right? So it's going up by $11.20 per every 100 geranium. So at that rate, I guess you should sell more because it's the average profit is going up. And in fact, looking at the average profit of negative what? You see they were losing money. I'm thinking they should be selling more at that point. So that last part, part D, was a monster. Like we had to subtract to find the profit function, divided by x to make it the average profit function, and take the derivative of that using the quotient rule, and then finally plug in the 3 to get the final answer. So wow, that was interesting, but this is a good example of an application of quotient rule.